Good morning everyone, how y'all doing? Today I wanted to take you on a front garden tour, very abbreviated, but I wanted to show you some plants that I've moved, transplanted, and a few new additions and some things I want to change either by spring or during spring. But I wanted to start out right here next to the Let's Dance Blue Jangles hydrangeas. These are the three right here, and then I have a few of the early blue that I brought from our back garden. Right next to that, under the bird bath, I planted several years ago Wizard of Oz Veronica. And I would say it probably came all the way out to where this heuchera is and to where that sprinkler head. And it self-seeds, it kind of grows, it seemed as a ground cover for me. Yet it only bloomed really one time in the spring. And I think that's because all the maple leaves were gone and it got a lot of springtime sun. After that, it really never bloomed much. So just recently, and this is why I wanted to start here because I'm going to go next and show you where I transplanted it. I took most of it up. This is what's left that I haven't transplanted. I've had such great success with the lamium next to the hydrangeas in our back garden that I thought I could repeat it here. I think lamium is going to be a great choice for this area because this area right here gets so much shade now. Okay, let me show you where I transplanted the Veronica. This was one of the first areas that I planted up when I started our channel, and I planted this whole area with Serenity Purple African daisies, Osteospermum. And every spring they do amazing. They're just a beautiful show of purple. I'll have to make sure that I input a photo. But as the years have gone on, and especially this last summer, which was rather hot, I began to lose some. And so instead of replacing it altogether or buying new African daisies, I thought, why don't I take the Veronica and intermix it? So the jury's out. I'm not sure what it's going to look like come spring, but hopefully this will be much more showy than it ever was around the bird bath. As we come around the corner, this is where I stopped the Veronica. I planted a little over 200 ranunculus this past week, intermixed through here, mostly among the border of our neighbor's lawn. One other big change that I did, we had a red fountain grass right here, and I just love the red fountain grass. I like the texture, the color, the way it spills out like a fountain. The problem is each year, once it gets its full maturity, they lay all on my society garlic. And you'll be able to tell that most of it doesn't really look the way it should. It's not perky, it's laying on its side, and that's because the fountain grass gets so big and so heavy, it just weighs the rest of the plants down. So what I decided to do was take that last hibiscus, the evening rose hibiscus from Proven Winners that I had in the back, and I transplanted it right here. It doesn't look super happy, and that's probably because I had it in a spot that was too shady. But if it can perform the way our other two hibiscus did this last summer, it will still give me that red texture. It should be about, oh, I don't know, 4 feet tall. And the way that it grows, it won't lay on the society garlic. And I was so impressed with how our hibiscus bloomed all summer. I mean, we just had our very last bloom a few weeks ago. So I did change that. I actually kept the fountain grass, divided it, but I'm not sure where I'm going to put it yet. I might plant it at my mom's garden. Another big change that I did was the 3 variegated hydrangeas that I had right here. Well, you can tell they're gone. I thought they were dead. I think they're still alive. I've repotted them, and now I'm trying to baby them. And I think this area just, even though it didn't get much sun, it just still got too much sun. We do have really, really hot summers here. So what I did is I took the candy corn spirea that I had 3 of them right here. And you can tell that it just doesn't look the way the spirea does in the nurseries. And I think that's because this plant wasn't getting enough sun. What I did do is I picked up 3 heuchera, and the name slips my mind. I just picked these up. Look how healthy and full they are. They were on clearance. I think they were normally $30, and I picked them up for $10 each. And just look at the beautiful color underneath. Look at this one. Look at how, it's just so striking. But I love the addition, and I really like the contrasting with the salvia and the heuchera. Also, you can tell I pulled up the oregano, and I landed up putting mondo grass in. The oregano did not do well, but the mondo grass has taken off. And if you can believe it, I picked all these up for $1 each at Walmart, and it goes all the way back here to where the fence opens up. We have this little gate here that opens up. I have been happy with it. It has just performed amazing. I'm thinking of doing a trailing vinca ground cover right here. I've picked up a few of those plants, but I haven't yet put them in the ground. And the last bit of addition that I did make was I added some Russian sage. I have one here, well, actually 2 here, one off to the side, and then one in the back here between the 2 euonymus. This is a real tricky area for me, and I'm sure we all have those areas in our garden where it either gets too much shade or too much sun. I am not going to let it beat me down. I am going to find something that works in this area. So it's still a work in progress. The 2 urns I have here at the entryway, I have not trimmed back the alternanthera. I have not put any winter annuals in quite yet. So that's something that I still need to do for winter. Normally I'm far more ahead of putting my winter annuals in, but I haven't done that quite yet. You probably can see that the grass looks a little different, and that's because the last few years we have tried to seed fescue. This is what we originally laid, fescue sod, and we just did this recently. We, again, a little bit behind on that. My husband's going in for full knee replacement here pretty soon, and so he's just not able to get out and do as much as he used to. He had meniscus surgery a year ago on the same knee, and it just never really healed properly. So that's kind of what's made us a little bit behind on some of the stuff we've done. This is our rockin' fuchsia salvia that just is such a phenomenal performer. This area of our garden faces south. The dianthus is a hit every spring. Of course, it's not really blooming very much right now, but it performs well every single year. And I've only lost just a few. And these I did all pick up from Home Depot years ago. These I still haven't pruned back. In the back, I have 3 red fountain grass. I never prune them in the fall, but we decided to do that this year because the news kept saying that we're going to have some kind of atmospheric storm, and we're going to have something like 4 or 5 days straight of rain, and it doesn't matter how well I tie them up, they just seem to want to flop over. And I thought, well, let's just not mess with that since it's going to be raining. And then you'll see the fountain grass that I have over here. I have some sweet pea bush that I picked up on clearance that I haven't put in the ground. Impatiens here that I have pruned back that I need to kind of put in a protected area, but I leave them out here right now so they can get a lot of sun. The winter sun is not quite as harsh. These 3 sunshine ligustrum, probably in a few videos ago, I'm not sure what we were doing out here, you probably saw how woolly they looked. We did recently prune them, give them a little bit of a haircut and shape them, and they're already starting to, to push growth. I'm going to leave them alone until probably March, late February, early March, give them another haircut just before spring hits full force for us. I wanted to show you, before I talk about our last area here in the garden, The tree right behind me is a Keith Davies Chinese pistache. And if you see all the other ones in the background that are far more mature, those are the exact same tree. Those are all female, this is a male. The only difference is the mess that they make, and the male doesn't make nearly as much of a mess as the female. But I just wanted to show you before all the leaves fall off how striking and beautiful they look. And this is probably one of the most popular trees in the Central Valley because it can handle our heat. Beautiful. This last little area is one that I am super happy that I planted. We planted begonias all along the border. I have lost a few, mostly over on this side. We have a lot of dog walkers, and because our German Shepherd comes with us everywhere, whenever we're out front, he wants to be out front. And of course, if they mark, he wants to mark. And I just think they got obliterated by all the dogs. And of course, me trying to rinse them off, and that doesn't help because now I'm just overwatering them. But I will replace those in the spring. I did cut them back. They were probably about up to here, and I think I have a picture. I'll put that up. I have pulled most of the coleus, just for last little bit I haven't pulled, but I did add a few extra foxtail fern. These right here are the new ones, and these right here, the more mature ones, started out really small. And I really like their growth habit, and they're very low maintenance, and they perform very well in our garden. It was so difficult for me to pull the zinnias, but I knew they weren't going to survive our winter, and I think I have a photo of just before I pulled them. These are snapshot pink and purple, and I intermixed them all, 4 flats all together. This flower bed on this side is a little bit bigger than this side, and I'm kind of excited to see what the pink and purple are going to do. These should last me well into May. This is just yet another thing that I was behind on. I should have had these planted probably a month ago, but because we had so much warm weather, I just was nervous to put something that enjoyed cooler weather in the ground. But as soon as they start looking a little bit fuller, I think it's going to be a very beautiful show, especially when people drive by. Don't you just love driving through neighborhoods and you see the different gardens? I do. And last, you can tell our 2 Japanese maples, they seem to be the last of the trees that lose their leaves. The Chinese pistache has been dropping leaves for several days. These trees have not even begun to drop, and once they do, that'll be a thick carpet of maple leaves everywhere. Of course, they'll probably start dropping right around Christmas time. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing Thanksgiving with family and friends. We'll see you soon. Bye.